Hi everyone, my name is JT Pilot and today we'll be making another video. This time we'll be doing the 11th random airport date, and this is for August of 2024. This is for Milwaukee International Airport, or with an IACO designation of Kilo Mike Kilo Echo. So, yes, we're finally doing Milwaukee. This is an airport update that's been requested by a lot of you in the Google form, so thank you to everybody that requested this airport. And yeah, and this airport update did win the poll on my Instagram account asking you guys which Rainbow airport day you want to see next. So there you go. And Birmingham scored second in that poll is one vote. Yeah, Milwaukee beat Birmingham by one vote in the Random Airport Date poll. So yeah, so you'll be seeing a Birmingham update in the near future. That'll probably be our next Random Airport date in September. So yes, so getting back to Milwaukee now, I'm gonna give you some brief facts about the layout of Milwaukee International Airport. So, Milwaukee International Airport recently received a brand new terminal, so that is really nice. It's divided up into two sections. We have Concourse Charlie over here, which is the Southwest United section, so that's where those airlines go. And then we have Concourse Delta over here, which is basically all the other aircraft and all the other airlines. So we have Delta, Sun Country, Frontier, Spirit, Alaska, JetBlue, and American. And then Milwaukee has a cargo terminal. It's pretty sad in today's airport day. I don't have too many cargo aircraft. Hopefully, I'll expand my cargo collection, but there's our one cargo aircraft for today's airport day. Yeah, so that's practically it for the terminal layout. So not much else I really want to go over. And one other thing, there is an international terminal as well. I should say international arrival terminal, which is over there. But there's no international planes arriving in today's video, unfortunately, so we will not be using that terminal, I should say. So, anyways, let's get started off with Concourse Charlie. Again, start off with Concourse Charlie and get started with some United aircraft. So, United has a pretty small presence over at Milwaukee, not too many mainland destinations. We only have one in today's video. So, and they also have a few regional destinations with their United Express affiliates. So, starting off our first aircraft here, United Express, Embraer J175, and you'll be heading out to Newark today, and this is a Mesa Airlines flight as United Flight 3470. Here is our sole mainline flight in today's video for United. Here, the United 737-800. So this aircraft will be heading out to Denver as United Flight 596. There's a ton of these aircraft over at Milwaukee, which is the Bombardier Sergei-200, and United sends a ton of these into Milwaukee. And so you'll see these aircraft a lot in the Midwest from American Eagle and United Express. So most of them are based out of Chicago, and this aircraft is based out of Chicago. So United does have several daily flights to Chicago from Milwaukee. It's basically like a shuttle service, around 5 daily flights. Most of the flights are on CRJ-200s. There is a few E-175 flights sprinkled around. So, yeah, that's a pretty short flight, so that probably explains all the CRJ-200s instead of a mainline service. So, yeah, so this United CRJ-200 will be heading out to Chicago O'Hare as United Flight 5799. We got one chartered United aircraft, so that's something a little different for today's airport date. So this aircraft did come in the day I'm recording this video, which is Thursday, August 29th, 2024. So, this United 737-900ER will be heading out to Cincinnati as United Flight 3783. So, not sure what the charter is for that flight. Probably some sort of sports charter if I had to guess. So, once again, this aircraft will be heading out to Cincinnati. And getting started with the Southwest Airlines section in today's airport dates. So unfortunately, no special liveries visited Milwaukee today besides one Alaska special livery. But Southwest, there's no special liveries, so that's pretty unfortunate. So it's just all Heart liveries. So not even the Cane Blue 737s came in. So, in case you didn't know, so Southwest Airlines bought AirTran in 2014, and I believe AirTran had a focus city over at Milwaukee. So that explains why there's still several Southwest aircraft over at Milwaukee, and a lot of Southwest routes. It's just because they have inherited all those AirTran routes. So, yes, that is a little brief history about Southwest Airlines over at Milwaukee. So, let's get started off with some Southwest aircraft. So, starting off with our first Southwest aircraft, which is the Seoul 737-MAX 8 in today's airport date. So, here the Southwest 737-MAX 8, and he'll be doing a flight out to Nashville at Southwest Flight 179. Moving on to our next Southwest aircraft, here we Southwest 747-700 with the blended winglets, and he'll be doing a flight out to Orlando at Southwest Flight 1263. And just pushing back, here we Southwest 747-700 with the split skimmer winglets, and he is pushing back for a flight out to Phoenix at Southwest Flight 1876. And all these Southwest flights are based off the early morning hours, and that can be said for most of the flights in today's airport day. Moving on to our next aircraft here, the Southwest 747-800 with the Heart 2 titles there. So to change it up, we're going to change it up a little bit. And this aircraft, we'll say this aircraft will be doing a flight out to Denver at Southwest Flight 699. Our next Southwest 747-800 by NG Models will be doing a flight out to St. Louis at Southwest Flight 3796. The Southwest 747-700 was a split skimmer winglets by NG Models. We'll be doing a flight out to Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson at Southwest Flight 4528. And the final Southwest aircraft in today's airport day is the Southwest 747-800. And this aircraft will be doing a flight out to St. Louis. So a lot of similar Southwest aircraft, mainly the 747-700s and 800s in the Heart livery. So a little basic today, but at least I have a bunch of Southwest aircraft so I can represent that. All these aircraft have different registrations, no duplicate models there. So so some other routes Southwest Airlines has over at Milwaukee include Austin. That is a new route beginning next March, so that's really exciting. They also have Baltimore, Dallas Love Field, Fort Lauderdale, Fort Myers, Kansas City, and they also have Tampa, Washington National, and some seasonal flights to Cancun. So that's something a little different there. I really wish I wish I could include that flight. I'm sure that is a winter flight. So yes, unfortunately we cannot represent that flight. And Southwest also flies to San Diego and Sarasota out of Milwaukee. So those are some really cool flights from Southwest Airlines. And we got a few taxiing aircraft. So here is Spirit Airbus A319. He'll be doing a flight out to Orlando at Spirit Flight 2910. And we have the wonderful Delta 717-200, and he'll be doing a flight out to Detroit as Delta Flight 2113. And moving on to Concourse Delta, and we'll be starting off with our first aircraft, being the Sun Country 737-800. So this aircraft will be heading out to Minneapolis as Sun Country Flight 1816. And Sun Country does have a ton of seasonal routes over at Milwaukee, which we cannot represent today because unfortunately none of them are flying on the day I'm recording this video, but there's a few other Sun Country routes that I will mention. So they also fly to Cancun, so their Cancun routes, that's pretty cool. Fort Myers, Las Vegas, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Montego Bay, Jamaica, which starts January 2025, and then they also fly to Orlando, Phoenix, and Punta Cana, which begins in December of this year. So those are some really cool Sun Country routes there. I really wish I would have been able to include them. Moving on to our Delta section, so Delta has a pretty good presence over at Milwaukee. They also have a Sky Club here, so that's really cool. So starting off our first Delta aircraft here, the Delta Connection Embraer ERJ-175. A ton of these fly into Milwaukee, so we'll be doing one of the E-175 routes. And this aircraft will be heading up to New York John F. Kennedy as Delta Flight 4073. Moving on to our next aircraft here, the Delta Airbus A321-200. There we go, let's get better light on that. So here the Delta Airbus A321-200, and he'll be doing the first service out to Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson as Delta Flight 1221. So Delta sends a ton of A321s from Atlanta to Milwaukee. They also send the 747-900ER and the 757. Moving on to our next aircraft here, the 747-800 with a split skimmer winglets, and he'll be doing a flight out to Minneapolis, St. Paul as Delta Flight 2063. And alright, so moving on to our next aircraft here, the Delta Airbus A319, and we'll be doing a full non-stop service out to Salt Lake City as Delta Flight 2223. Moving on to our next Delta aircraft here, the Delta 757-200, and he'll be doing the 7 a.m. Atlanta service. So, and that is Delta Flight 1236. Proceeding on to Frontier Airlines, so they have a pretty small presence over in Milwaukee. They only have one route, and this Frontier Airbus A321 and Steve the Eagle Tail will be heading out to Denver. So, yes, that's pretty sad to see. Only one Frontier route, so at least we can include them in today's airport day. They look really great over at this section. And same kind of story over at Spirit Airlines. They do have a few more routes than Frontier though, but yeah, they do have a limited route selection. But they have this exciting aircraft that flies in here. So this Spirit Airbus A321neo, one of my favorite models over here, will be doing a flight out to Baltimore at Spirit Flight 526. So Spirit also does flights out to Dallas Fort Worth, Las Vegas, and Tampa. So those are some cool Spirit routes. Moving on to Alaska Airlines. So Alaska does serve Milwaukee from Seattle. So this 747-900ER will be heading out to Seattle today as Alaska Flight 323. And moving on to our next airline here, we have JetBlue Airways. This JetBlue Airbus A220, this JetBlue A220 will be doing a flight out to New York John F. Kennedy as JetBlue Flight 680. And alright, so moving on to the American Airlines section, so they have a pretty good presence over at Milwaukee, and there's some wonderful Jetset models GSC there. So starting off with first American aircraft, here the American Airbus A319, and you'll be doing a flight out to Philadelphia. The American 747-800 will be doing a flight out to Dallas Fort Worth. And that's American Flight 2521. And the final American Eagle aircraft, first and last American Eagle aircraft in today's airport day, which is this American Eagle CRJ-700, and he'll be doing a flight out to Washington DCA, and as a PSA Airlines flight, had a little brain fart there. Anyway, so American also has several other services. They do fly to Charlotte with their 320s, but unfortunately, I do not have an American A320 in the collection, so maybe Angel Models or Panda will release a really good quality one, so I'll definitely purchase one, or if Gemini has another go with their American A320. So yeah, and American also flies to Phoenix Sky Harbor, so that's another service that almost including today's airport date. So yeah, that would have been a cool service. So they also fly to Phoenix. They also fly the Chicago O'Hare with CRJ-200s. I don't have that aircraft either, so could not represent that. So yeah, American Airlines has a pretty good presence over at Milwaukee. And proceeding on to the final aircraft in today's airport date, and we're going to go to my little mini replica of their cargo terminal. So here we have a FedEx Express Boeing 767-300ER, and it'll be doing a flight out to Memphis as FedEx Flight 645. And before I end the video, I'll be explaining to you some other cargo services that are at Milwaukee. So FedEx also flies to Appleton, Chicago here, Indianapolis, and Minneapolis. They also have some FedEx feeder services with Cessna 208, so maybe one day I'll get a FedEx Cessna 208 to represent these feeder flights. So the feeder flights go to Midway in Escanaba, something like that, Houghton, Iron Mountain, Marquette, and Rhinelander. So really cool express flights there. Those would have been cool to include in the video. And other cargo airlines include DHL, Berry Aviation, AirNet Express, Freight Runners Express, Martin Air, Royal Air Flight, and UPS Airlines, who sends their 767s as well to Louisville. Yeah, and a lot of those airlines there are just lists I've never heard of before, so always fun to learn something new when I'm doing these random airport dates. So, and that's a perfect segue to the end of this video. So once again, this was the 11th Random Airport Day, and this is for August of 2024 for Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. So, yeah, I'm really grateful I was able to do this airport day on the YouTube channel. I've always wanted to do a Milwaukee update, and yeah, ever since I started doing random airport dates, this airport has always been in the back of my mind for me to do a random airport date. It's just a cool airport. It's really cool that they just got a new terminal recently, so it's kind of like the Kansas City airport date I did a few months back. So yeah, so that's it for today's video. Not much else I really want to cover in this video. So I'd like to thank you all so much for watching this video, and have a wonderful day.